talk, our conversation with stating the hadith on Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam. When an Arabian man came to him and asked him to give him an advice, and the Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam replied by saying, "Do not get angry, do not get angry, do not get angry." He repeated that 3 times. What does that mean to me when I hear this hadith and I hear "do not get angry" 3 times? It's all words of wisdom. And not only that, but it's definitive as well. To repeat it 3 times, it's sharp, it's definite, and it's to the point. In the past decade or so, in treatment, psychological treatment, we came up with a lot of terms, we came up with a lot of techniques, we came up with a lot of things to treat anger. And still, a lot of people don't know how to control their anger. Still, a lot of people don't know the meaning of anger or where it comes from. A lot of times when I read also in the hadith or in the teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is that anger is an energy. This is also in psychology. Anger is an energy. Why do anybody get angry? People get angry because of many reasons. By how do we treat the anger? First, we have to realize that there is a difference between the action of anger and the feelings of anger. We all know that anger, the feeling, will never stop. It will always happen over and over and over again. However, the action of anger, the angry action, that's what we can change, that's what we can control. Let's take a look at, for instance, the teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What did he say? How can we deal with it? I know from my readings is that I have to take a look at anger by comparing it to fire. What do I put fire with? I put fire out with water. So in the teaching of Quran, in the teaching of the hadith, is that I have to go and make wudu and make salat. What does that mean, wudu and salat? When I make wudu, I'm actually taking the water, I'm putting it all over my body. I'm making the wudu 5 times a day, reduces the anger. By making the salat 5 times a day, reducing the anger. The water puts out fire. The salat, at the same time, it's meditation. What is meditation? We teach that meditation takes anger. When somebody comes to the clinic and tells me, well, I get angry, what should I do? I tell them, well, count to 10. It's an old slogan, count to 10. Think before you act. What does that mean, count to 10 and think before you act? It means that I have to take time for myself. When I go back to the religion, I find out that what? I go and make wudu, I make my salat, and then my anger subsides. If I'm standing up, for instance, and I'm angry, I sit down. Then my anger, is it going to go away? No, the feeling of anger will not go away. However, the action of anger might subside, because if I'm standing up psychologically, it gives me an authoritative figure. I actually feel powerful when I'm standing up, as opposed to sitting down. If I'm sitting down, my action of anger will subside because I'm sitting. I'm not an authority figure, I'm sitting. And even if I sit down and I still feel angry, what do? I can sit down to the floor. Why do I sit down on the floor? There is a lot of studies in parapsychology, is that when I sit down on the floor, it's the lowest place I can sit on. What does that do to my psyche? It calms me down, that I am not in control of the situation. It reminds me that I'm not in control of the situation. So if I'm not in control of the situation and I already feel that way or believe that way, my anger will subside. Another issue about anger is that we always talk in spirituality about death and dying, and that's actually not a negative issue. However, it's a fact of life that nobody came out of here alive. It's a destiny. We all have to die. If I know at the end that I'm going to die and I'm not running away from it, I am doing for that. What happens to my anger? My anger subsides totally because I know that the end will happen. It's a fact, and I will not take anything with me. Meaning that people get angry because something happens that they don't want to happen, or something didn't happen that they want to happen, meaning that they wanted something and they didn't get it, or they didn't want something and it did happen anyway. So if I know that I am leaving this life with nothing in my hands, what's going to happen if I lose a lot of money, or if I lose a lot of possessions, or if I lose people, or anything of this worldly possessions that I have? What happens is that I already know that I'm losing all this stuff. God giving it to me, God is going to take it away from me, or God gave it to me and then I'm going to leave it and go somewhere else. So that's why the anger and the spirituality is very important. The anger and knowing your feelings is very important. The anger and knowing your philosophy in life and knowing your teachings from your ancestors is very important. Anger and knowing that you are going to get out of here with nothing in your hands is very important. Let's see, there is another issue with the anger, and that is and this is also in another hadith, but I think because we don't have a lot of time today, so we're going to talk about this hadith in our next episode. And that hadith is that my love to all these worldly possessions are not supposed to exceed my love to God, are not supposed to exceed my love to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if I'm bound by these beliefs, what do you think my life is going to be? My life is going to be very simple. My life is going to be very straight. My life is going to be very happy. Again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in our next episode. And we're going to be talking about the relationship with God and the relationship with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Thank you, and we'll see you again.